if you're going on a trip, you're going to want to know not just where you're going, but you're going to want to know where to start, because where you start determines where you end up. And when it comes to your financial life, this is a conversation I have with people quite regularly. People say, "Oh, I want to have money saved for retirement. I want to be able to go on trips. I want to be able to buy the things that I want. I want to have financial freedom." Whatever they say, many people don't know where they currently are. And if you don't know where you are, you're not going to know how to get to your destination. And so I want to offer a tool that I have found helpful for myself and that I think can be helpful for you as well. Just as the United States publishes their GDP numbers that show the size of the economy, I have entitled this your personal GDP, your personal general dollar picture. And what this is it's a tool. It's just a tool to give you a picture of where you currently are financially. It consists of four components. The first two are on the micro level, looking at where you are month to month with your income and with your expenses. And then the second two components are on a macro level, where you are in terms of the big picture with your assets and your liabilities. You see, a lot of folks, they have a job, they get paid, money comes in, but they don't really know where their money's going. They have bills, they pay the bills, they buy the things that they can supposedly can afford. Then they end up at the end of the month having more month than money, and they don't know why. And so then they say, "Oh, I need to budget," but they don't really have that initial picture of where they're going. Or they say, "Oh, I want to get out of debt," but they don't know how much they owe. They don't have any idea about that. So I created this personal GDP worksheet. It consists of four components. Like I said, the first is you list your income. Just figure out how much do you have coming in. And this, of course, is after tax income. And then on the second component, you list your monthly expenses. And this is average. I mean, you don't have to be to the penny, but you need a basic picture of how much money you're spending each month in certain categories. And then on the macro level, you have your assets and your liabilities. How much do you have in terms of assets? How much is your house worth? How much are your cars worth? How much do you have saved for retirement? How much do you have in your savings account? How much do you have hidden under the mattress or in a coffee can somewhere? What is your asset picture? And then what are your liabilities? How much do you still owe on all of those things? Do you owe more than you own? These are helpful things that can help you get a picture of where you are financially. And if you understand where you are financially at the starting point, then you can see where you have to go, because you see, you may actually be further along than you realize. You may actually have a better net worth than you realize. That doesn't mean you're not struggling, because the micro level still may be where you need to work, but the macro level may not be so bad. Or you may have a decent micro level. Your income might be great. Your expenses might not be that bad, but your macro level, your long term objectives are off. This gives you a picture of where you need to focus, where you need to kind of tackle the problem to begin with. Because you see, one thing that people sometimes think is that you can out earn your stupidity. What I mean by that is, if you make bad financial decisions when you have no money, making more money is not going to fix those problems. You need to have an understanding of where you are, where you're going, and how to get there. And so before we can begin to then ask, okay, what does our budget need to look like? Where do we need to be putting more money? How do we get out of debt? How do we do all this? We need to have a snapshot of where we are at present. And so if you're interested in getting a copy of the worksheet, it's an Excel spreadsheet. You just have four sheets. You place everything in the columns and you just add it up. It's very simple. It's not complicated. It doesn't require an advanced accounting degree to be able to do it. Then just comment below, link, and I'll send you the Dropbox link to the Excel spreadsheet. That way you can get a handle on where you are financially today. Now, remember, this is not going to be your permanent place. This is your starting point. But if you know where you're starting, then hopefully, as you move forward, that picture will change. It will improve both on the micro and on the macro level. because the goal is not to just clean up the mess. The goal is not to go scorched earth and live like a miser, so you have a big bank account. The goal is to be financially free, to be financially healthy, so that you can do the things that God wants you to do with the resources that He has given you. And that picture is going to be different for everybody else. That doesn't mean that we don't do some of the same things, but it does mean that what we do with the resources that we have is going to be shaped by where we currently are and where we're going. So if you like this content, subscribe, comment below. If you want a copy of the personal GDP worksheet, be happy to send it to you. But look forward to what you can do when you get a handle on where you're going financially. And as always, God bless.